So here's another creepy true ghost story from my family. This happened maybe around 70 years ago on my mom's side. They were all ethnic Chinese in a small town in Malaysia at the time, and they were very poor. And this relative was 7 years old, and she was left all alone one night at home for several hours. Her parents were still working, and her siblings had gone off to a party or something. So she was terrified, and they didn't even have electricity at the time, and so she had to look around for some makeshift small lamp. And she just stayed there, waiting for people to come home. But then she heard a commotion coming from the apartment or the house across from theirs, and she looked out the window and she saw that the couple next door were arguing. The woman was pleading for the man not to leave her, but he stormed away and she was left sobbing. And this woman was in such torment that she actually grabbed a pair of scissors and jammed them into her throat. And my relative, this little 7-year-old girl, actually watched as this happened. She said she saw the blood gushing out of this woman's throat. And she even said that when the medics came with the ambulance, they carried her out on a stretcher, and she could still see blood bubbling out of that wound. And this alone was traumatizing enough. But a little while later, after the ambulance had left, my relative was still terrified alone. And then she heard a strange noise coming from a tree outside of their building. The tree was moving, and she looked out the window and she looked up, and she could see the ghost of that woman sitting on a branch in that tree, kind of bouncing up and down on a branch, and she was giggling and laughing. And she saw my relative looking at her, and then she started to beckon for this little girl to come to her. She was just laughing, saying, "Come to me, come to me." Of course, my relative didn't go to her. She just hid somewhere deeper in the house, terrified, until her family came back home. And even to the time that this relative told me this story, she swears that she saw that, even though some people may think it was just trauma or some kind of, imagination from a child. But she swore that this happened. So again, I am the producer of the Haunted Bay Paranormal Investigation series, and I also run the ghost tours. Our link is in our bio. Our website is thehauntedbay.com.